Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars and welcome to another PlayStation 4 review. I'm working hard now to get through some of the games that I picked up around Christmas time to try and get some more reviews out over the next couple of weeks, because it's a fairly light window of releases leading up to certainly February. So I've got a couple of weeks to play catch up with some of the games that I bought at Christmas. Now the one I've been putting a lot of time in at the minute is Death Stranding, the new Hideo Kojima game. Now for those of you who don't know, and I'm sure pretty much anybody watching this does, Hideo Kojima is the mastermind behind the Metal Gear Solid games. He now has got his own. He's got his own game production company now, and this is the first game that he has released off his own back with the help of Sony. And Death Stranding is a game that I wasn't overly interested in, only because everything leading up to its release, it didn't really grab me or interest me that much. It looked a bit bonkers, to be honest, and it came out, and some of my most trusted sources, i.e. some of the reviewers that I trust the most on YouTube, Skill Up in particular, I think is one of the most respectful game reviewers on YouTube, loved the game, and a few others that I was watching loved it. But there are also many others that was really not enjoying this game. Jim Sterling didn't like it. Worth a buy, hated it. There's quite a few others. Now I think the message here to gamers, if you haven't tried Death Stranding yet, because the reviews have been so mixed from so many different people, it is really very simple, and I'll try and put it in layman's terms for you and simplify it. If you are a thrill-a-minute action gamer, if you like the Call of Duty type games, if you like the Fortnite type games, and you like to be excited and adrenaline fueled gamer, and that's what you like, this game is definitely not for you. This game in many ways is truly unique, and it took me about 10 hours to start getting into this game because it is such an odd concept. Now the story is typical Hideo Kojima. It's bonkers, it's mad, it's convoluted, it's all over the place, and I think Kojima sometimes thinks it's some kind of modern day Shakespeare or something. His stories are just a bit mad. Even the Metal Gear Solid stories, for the most part, I didn't like them. They're just far too complex for their own good, and it's a bit similar here with this one. Now to simplify it, basically the story of this game is it's set in the near future. Well, it's set in the future. There's been some kind of apocalyptic event, and I'm not going to go into detail. And basically the world has changed. Society has totally collapsed, and basically society is not linked in any way. So you play essentially a postman. Now that doesn't sound particularly exciting, does it? But that's really what you are. It's like a game version of the Kevin Costner film The Postman, which was set in a post-apocalyptic future. And your job here, to simplify things, is to travel from A to B, most of the time on foot, carrying cargo to destinations. Now the gaming loop here is, as you progress, as you are rewarded for delivering cargo, as you gain experience and rewards for doing this, you are able to upgrade your equipment to make that trip from A to B simpler each time. So there's things you can create. You can create ladders to climb up things, ropes to climb down things, you can build post boxes to store equipment in for yourself or other people, you can build watchtowers to look at the local area. You could build bridges. There's all this equipment that you can build that's going to make your life easier. You could upgrade all the equipment that you wear so that it doesn't wear out as quick. Blah blah blah. And then you get to the point as well in the game where you have access to vehicles, which makes traversing the terrain even easier still. So the gaming loop here is to increase and improve your equipment to make the transition from A to B and traversing the terrain easier, so that you can do your job as this glorified postman, and essentially your job is to deliver packages, but also to link the United States back up by using, I'm not even going to go, it's part of the story, but you've got to go to these places and then you end up linking them all together and they all become connected, and you know, everything is rosy and glorious. That is the gaming loop. Now, thrown into the mix here are things called BTs, which is part of the Death Stranding, and again, I'm not going to go into the story here, but just accept the fact that there's these BTs out there. When you're travelling, if it starts raining, this rain is dangerous, very dangerous, and there's these like spirits called BTs, and they will essentially try and track you down. And when they get hold of you, you've had it basically. You've got to try and get away as best you can. Now, when you carry this BB on your chest, which is like well, you've seen the clips. It's like a baby in a bottle, and they can sense these BTs. So when they sense them, the gameplay changes. You've got to kind of crawl through the environments very, very slowly, and crouch down and walk through very, very slowly. And then when they get even closer, you hold your breath. And it gets quite tense, the game, at that point. And at that point in the game, that's it. It changes and it becomes a bit more tense. And as you improve your equipment, you are given actually weapons to try and deal with these BTs. You can throw kind of like bodily fluids at them and all this kind of stuff. And yes, if you've seen the Angry Joe review where they make fun of it, yes, there is feces in it and all this kind of stuff. So you are given tools to try and get through these BTs easier. There are other people on the road as well that will try and steal your packages. These are like ex-postmen like you that have gone renegade to some degree, and they will always try and steal your packages. And it's always better to use non-lethal approaches, because if you kill someone in this game, the effects of killing someone can be catastrophic. There's like a huge massive explosion, the big crater appears, and it's always better to use non-lethal approaches when you're taking out these characters in the game. But that is essentially the gameplay that you've got here. Now, it's been described, this game, as a glorified walking simulator, and to some degree I think they've had some fun with this, in a sense of, yes, people make fun of games and call them walking simulators. Well, this essentially is a walking simulator with these really interesting gameplay mechanics thrown in there. Now, for me, I'm quite enjoying this game because I like relaxed games. I like games I can chill out with, and barring some tense moments with the BTs and some runnings with these other characters that are trying to steal your supplies and things like that, you kind of left to your own thoughts when you're playing this game, apart from when the beautiful soundtrack kicks in. Sometimes when you're on a long journey, there's like a soundtrack will automatically kick in, and they're usually quite nice and beautiful songs for you to listen to. And you can just kind of chill out, and just as long as you've got the right equipment with you can traverse the terrain pretty nicely. You can also pick up people's cargo that they might have dropped along the way. For example, if a BT grabs you, they'll pull cargo off you and things like that, and you might see it scattered around the terrain from other players in the game that they've lost and left. So you can pick this cargo up and then drop it off at the nearest drop-off point, and you can either drop it off at the preferred destination and you will get the rewards from that, or you can drop it off anywhere for that player, and then you'll get some rewards for it that way. So you can either be selfish and keep all the rewards for yourself, or drop it off for that player and then you'll still get rewarded and you'll get likes. And that's another big strength of this game, is it's like connected. You'll see it scattered all over the environment. People have left signs, clues that they were there, even some of the equipment that they've used before you can make use of. So you never really feel alone in this game, even though you're not playing directly with other players. It's quite an interesting gaming loop, this, and I have to say I am enjoying the game. It takes some time to get into, and it's a very, very unique gaming experience, and it is definitely not for everybody, but it's really new, it's really original. There's nothing like this out there, and I think for those of you that appreciate originality in games, there is a lot here to enjoy. It's an 8.5 out of 10 from me, but those adrenaline junkies out there, those Call of Duty players, you're going to hate this game, so don't even bother, even on a sale I would suggest. But definitely for me, I'm really glad I've got it. I'm certainly enjoying it now, and I think it's one that you guys should check out if you think it's your sort of game. So thank you for watching.